Alright class, today we're going to talk about something really exciting. Fossils. Fossils are important clues that help us understand what life on Earth was like long ago. By studying fossils, scientists can learn about the organisms that lived in the past and the environments they lived in. Fossils are like nature's time capsules, showing us patterns and cycles that help explain how Earth has changed over millions of years. But what exactly are fossils? A fossil is the preserved remains or traces of a plant or animal that lived a long time ago. These remains can include bones, teeth, shells, or even imprints of leaves and footprints. Fossils form when an organism dies and gets buried under layers of sediment like mud or sand. Over time, the soft parts of the organism break down, and the harder parts like bones or shells get turned into rock. The sediment hardens, and after millions of years, what was once a living thing becomes a fossil. In Texas, we have some amazing fossils that tell us about the animals and environments that used to exist here. One common fossil found in Texas is the Griffia, also known as the devil's toenail. These fossils come from an ancient type of oyster that lived in shallow seas millions of years ago. So when we find Griffia fossils in Texas, it tells us that Texas used to be covered by water. This is evidence of the past environments where marine life flourished. Another important fossil found in Texas is the mammoth fossil. Mammoths were large elephant-like animals that lived during the Ice Age. When we find their fossils, it shows us that Texas was once home to large grasslands where these massive creatures could roam and find food. By studying mammoth fossils, scientists can learn more about the climate and environment of Texas during the Ice Age. Fossils not only show us what animals lived in the past, but they also give us clues about the relationships within the environment. For example, if we find fossils of plants and herbivores together, it tells us that these animals likely fed on those plants. If we also find the fossils of carnivores nearby, we can guess that they might have preyed on the herbivores. These relationships form part of the systems that keep ecosystems in balance, even in ancient times. Fossils also show us cycles of change. By looking at different layers of fossils, scientists can see how Earth's climate and environment have changed over time. For instance, a certain layer might show marine fossils, indicating a watery environment. But a layer above it might show land-dwelling animal fossils, indicating that the sea had dried up and land had taken over. These patterns help scientists understand how environments can change over long periods of time. Now that we know fossils are evidence of past organisms and environments, we can see how important they are for telling the story of Earth's history. Fossils help us connect the present to the past and understand the natural systems and cycles that shape the world around us. Here's something to think about. If you found a fossil in your backyard, what clues would it give you about what the environment used to be like? How would you know if it was from a time when Texas was covered by water, or from the time when mammoths roamed the land? What do you think?